it is basically the number, this 3, it, I will go to that slide, yeah. So this comes from, so within the modes, there are 3 modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And within the modes, they are further divided into 3 categories. So mode of goodness, further, there are 3 divisions. Mode of passion, there are again 3 divisions. And mode of ignorance, there are again 3 divisions. So, so this 27 multiplied by 3, it comes to 81. So this is how it comes to 81. So anybody has any confusion in this? Okay, so I'll go forward. So, so basically, the 81 types of bhakti, this is known as Saguna Bhakti. Because Saguna Bhakti means with the material qualities, and pure Bhakti, it is known as Niguna Bhakti. So Niguna Bhakti is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, where there is no desire, no material desire, self-motivation is zero. And so when we are doing devotional service, which is influenced by 3 modes of material nature and it is tainted with material qualities, then it is basically Saguna Bhakti. And we can see it's not that one person is always in mode of, it will always be in some mode of ignorance, is totally in mode of ignorance, or will be totally in mode of passion, or totally in mode of ignorance. So there is a, basically there are different grades of these modes. They can affect little bit. So we see little bit of ourselves in these different modes. So today our focus will be on mode of ignorance. So we can see here picture of Daksh. So in the starting of in third canto, Lord Kapil Dev explains about devotional service in great length. And in the starting of fourth canto, the first story comes is about Daksha. So when Brahma, he wanted to procreate, and then basically he failed because 4 Kumaras they denied, and then ultimately progeny came from Swayambhu Manu. And Swayambhu Manu, he had 3 daughters, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. So Prasuti, the daughter of Swayambhu Manu, she was married to Daksha. And Daksha means expert. So he was expert in many things. And he had a daughter, Sati, who was beautiful, chaste. And when it came to her marriage, so the parents always make sure that they get a perfect groom for their daughter. And so similarly, Daksha also, they were also searching for a groom, but he was not very much happy with Sati marrying Lord Shiva. And Sati, she came from a aristocratic background and she knew caliber of Lord Shiva, but Daksha reluctantly in his heart allowed her to marry Lord Shiva. So Daksha, he was doing many sacrifices, but Lord Shiva was always glorified more than him. And so, so he thought his daughter could do better than Shiva. And once there was a big sacrifice going on, and so Marichi, Daksha all came together and with eminent personalities of the universe. And Daksha was the head of the sacrifice. So as he walked in the sacrificial arena, so everyone stood up except 2 personalities, Brahma and Lord Shiva. So now the nature of ignorance is that the persons who are in deep ignorance, they don't see how much have come to them. They always see how much have not come to them. And basically, they always see what is missing. So, when Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they both did not stand up, so Daksha began to calculate that that Lord Brahma did not stand up. It's okay because he's my grandfather, he's superior to me, and all that. And but Shiva, he is my son-in-law, and because already Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva, and so whenever we have animosity towards anyone, so basically small things also we just amplify them and make them very big. So Daksha couldn't take it and he began to speak very badly, rudely for Lord Shiva, blaspheming him. And so then Lord Shiva's followers, they were not able to take it. They started to curse, and then Daksha's followers like Brigu and all, they began to counter curse, and back and forth this cursing and counter cursing was going on. And finally, Lord Shiva was humble. He didn't say a word. He left. And then Daksha also left, and it was a big disaster. And then sometimes later, so Brahma, he again initiated a big sacrifice and made Daksha the head of the sacrifice. And so Daksha invited all the personalities, and it was a big social event. And Sati, she was interested to go there, and a long conversation comes between Lord Shiva and Sati. So Lord Shiva warned Sati that she should not go, otherwise it will end up in the disaster. But I think it's woman nature that it was a big gathering. She wanted to go, and so she went there, and nobody greeted her because they were afraid that if they show some favor to Sati, so Daksha will think they have sided Lord Shiva, so nobody greeted her. So, and we all know the story, what happened later on. She felt insulted, and she felt her husband, Lord Shiva, is also insulted. So she left the body. So so this story basically talks about devotional service in the mode of ignorance. Why? Because Daksha was doing great sacrifices and devotional service. And what kind of devotional service he was doing? So a verse comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Abhisandhyaya yoginsam dambham matsarya eva va समारंभिभिना दृग्भावं मयि कुर्यात् स तामसः. So translation is devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent and angry, and who is a separatist, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. So like I told you, within every mode, there are further three divisions. So, devotional service, when it is performed in ignorance, so it has three characteristics. So, it is performed with envy and anger towards others. Second characteristic is it is performed with a sense of pride. And third characteristic is it is performed with violence towards other living beings. So, which this verse, which I recited from third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is talking about the same. So enviousness, pride, and violence. So basically, it is called Matsarya Bhakti. So when we look at Daksha, so his devotion was tainted with envy, pride, and violence. So So this is the characteristics of person who is in mode of ignorance. They are always envious of others who are doing well. When others are being credited and praised, so they just can't handle it and it's too much for them. So if someone is praised by Krishna, so by devotees of Krishna, it means it is being done for the pleasure of Krishna because Lord is Bhakt Vatsal, so Krishna is being pleased. So if we are displeased, it means we are displeased when Krishna is pleased. So what can be more ignorant than uh, this? Because mode of ignorance, devotion in mode of ignorance is we are envious of someone when they are doing well in their spiritual journey. And so when they are well praised by others, so there cannot be more ignorance than this. So therefore, sometimes we find shade of this envy coming in our own life, in our own heart. So this is considered to be devotional service in mode of ignorance, characterized by Daksha's envy of Lord Shiva, and uh, and this also leads to Dambham Bhakti. So Dambham means basically it means pretense. So this pretense, hypocrisy comes because of when there is pride in the heart. Also, I discussed about four stages of envy, how this envy grows in our heart. So, avagya, upeksha, dvesha, mani, these are four stages of envy. And so, how it starts from looking down at someone, oh, poor fellow, and how it manifests in the gross forms and ultimately violence and all this I have already discussed. So again, we come back to Daksha's story. So, just because Lord Shiva, he did not stand up, so Daksha was not able to take it. So, for a proud person, it doesn't matter how much respect he gets. So, but if someone disrespects him, so he can't take it, and even that small thing he amplifies. And there are various examples which comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Indra is a very good example that he was getting millions of sacrifices from the whole world. But when Lord Krishna, he was a small boy in a small village of Vraj, so he said not to worship him. So how much mess he created. So when we are proud, we amplify things and we make it big. So envy is matsarya, and because of pride is dambham, and ultimately it leads to himsa. Himsa means violence towards other living entities. So we may look and say that I am not that bad. So basically, Samarambhi means anger. And there is also, because of pride and envy, so anger comes. And Bhagavad Gita, Lord talks about Krodha Bhavati Sammoha. When anger comes, you lose your intelligence. Mai Kuryat Sat Tamsaha. So we have to think deeply, we have to be very reflective. So some of these may be entering our devotion. So we have to be honest, we have to face our demons, and so so it is sometimes difficult to uh, sometimes it is difficult to say that we have envy, and sometimes it is more difficult to have compassion when someone else is in distress. And so basically, sometimes we feel happy when somebody else is in distress. So if someone is struggling, it may not be easier to find compassion in our heart. And so when someone is doing well, and yeah, someone is struggling, so it may be easy to find compassion for them. But when someone is doing well, so then it's very difficult to be genuinely happy and for them. And so we can be happy only we have when we have removed this Matsarya Bhakti. So, some few points I would like to talk about how to deal with this Matsarya Bhakti. So, so, in devotional service, we always hear that nature of basically envy is that we want to always keep other people down. So, but Vaishnavas, they are always encouraging. And so, uh, in one lecture, I heard that when Prabhupada was talking about something. So one of the disciples, he said that, Prabhupada, there are 12 Mahajans and you are 13th Mahajan. So Prabhupada said, yeah, it's good, thank you, but you can become the 14th Mahajan. So Prabhupada was always encouraging and empowering, and he was a pure devotee. So if you want to get rid of envy, so we have to basically uh, we have to deal with that. We have to look at the community of the devotees. We have to appreciate the devotees. So those who are struggling, we can reassure them that they will come out of it. And we can always be encouraging, empowering. We don't have to wait for it. And we can be that positive personality, and in that positive mood we can encourage and give our contribution to them. So I think slides are okay. So so this will help to dissolve the enviousness, because enviousness basically comes when we have prithak bhava. Prithak bhava, which was talked about in this verse, basically it comes from when we have separatist mentality. It means when we are seeing things separate from Krishna. So when we are seeing things separate from Krishna, so it means we are not that, and we are not in the mood of encouragement, empowerment, because the moment we are encouraging and we are in that empowerment, so it means we are in that platform where we can see that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Others are also part and parcel of Krishna, and empowering them becomes part of our life and success, and we see everyone together. So when we are in separatist mentality, and I think this also comes because uh, in because material world there is always so much competition, because material life has taught us if someone is doing good, it means I am losing out. And if someone is earning more money, that then it means I could have I could have that money and I'm losing on that money. So, but in the spiritual world, there is no competition, there is no comparison. And in spiritual world, equations are completely different because everyone shares everybody's success, and if devotees are doing well, uh, so it means we as a community, we are doing well, and we don't see ourselves separate from others. So basically, we all know the frog in the well story. So all the frogs are stuck in the well, and amazing thing is that each frog has the potency to come out of the well. But as soon as if one frog it tries to jumps out of the well, and it makes an endeavor, the other frogs they jumps high and bring him down, and because they are thinking I don't want to be left alone. So when one is jumping, other is jumping higher and just bringing them down. And so this is amazing that all have potency to come out. So if we let devotees to flourish, to shine, so and if we are genuinely happy when others are flourishing, so then it means all the Matsarya has been removed from the heart, and we don't have that separatist mentality. So enviousness, it also comes because of the mentality of comparing with others. So everyone is on their own journey, and we can't compare ourselves to others. So we can't copy others. So it's like copying. It's good example is we are sitting in a we are taking an exam. We have copied all the answers, and when we came out, we realized that everybody has a different question paper. So there was no use. So Matsarya Bhakti is basically devotion mixed with envy, and enviousness is such a heavy burden, and one should, and it is bringing us down. We are always in the inferiority complex, insecurities. So for that, basically, some uh, things are we should be so first aspect of mode of ignorance is the uh, basically dambham bhakti, and second aspect is matsarya bhakti. So Daksha was proud because this dambam, this hypocrisy comes when there is pride in the heart. So because his he has inflated consciousness of himself that I am so good. And so one lecture, Keshav Maharaj was saying that if you are proud, you can't last, and you can't love, and you can't learn. So if you are proud, you can somehow or other, if you last, so you will commit offenses, and this Krishna will not tolerate. And so then it will be difficult for you to stay for long. If somehow or other you stay in bhakti, and then you won't be able to learn because because of pride, there will be a mentality that I know everything, and there will be no room for learning. And if somehow you manage to last long, somehow you manage to stay, still you won't be able to love because for loving, uh, you have to be selfless. And to be selfless, you have to be stop thinking about yourself. You have to be stop keeping yourself in the center. And so, otherwise, it will be difficult to love. So one of the difficulties of proud person is that nobody is there to tell him what's going wrong. So if we live our life, we create such energies that there is nobody to give us feedback. So it will be difficult for us to survive, because feedback is like a breakfast for our soul. So Lord Ram, he also used to send spies in his kingdom, and just to just to uh, check how he is doing, how he can improve. So this feedback is not that we can be defensive and we can defend ourselves. So basically, how can we improve? So constant introspection and feedbacks from others. If we have those kind of relationships where we can get the feedback, so this can help us to overcome pride. Second is we can share our talents. So I heard that Yamuna Mataji, she was a great cook, and Prabhupada, he told him that you whatever talent you have, you are a great cook, so you start teaching others cooking. Otherwise you will be proud, because there will be sense of superiority, and that will make us pride. So sharing our talents, because whatever talents we have, whatever skills we have, so Krishna is the source of all skills or opulences. So if we are acknowledging that, so we will never be pride. So if we are sharing our talents, if we are teaching it to others, if we are giving it to others, sharing it with others, so it will also help us to be grow. And because then we will see, oh yeah, others can also do well. I am doing this thing very nicely. Others are also doing this very nicely. So we will be in a mood of learning, and it will help us grow, and it will curb our pride. So pride means we stop learning, and when we stop learning, we are spiritually dead. And then final aspect of devotional service, it is himsam bhakti. So we talked about envy, we talked about pride. So Matsarya Bhakti, Dambham Bhakti. Now the third aspect we are talking about is Himsam Bhakti. So Himsa means violent towards other living entities. So basically, if we look at the story of Daksha, so Daksha tried to kill Shiva first by his words, and later on in form of curses. So, uh, so if we are violent, it means it's a scary thing. In the process of devotional service, we also sometimes uh, get violent, and being violent towards other means damaging other person's faith. So in the process of devotional service, if we are conducting ourselves, our interactions are in a way that other people's faith is being damaged, so it is actually a big violence. And if we are this inspiring others, and so it will impede their progress as well as other ours progress also, and it is a biggest disservice that we can do to Krishna. So, if we look in our lives, we can always give credit to devotees who created faith. And so it's always devotees, they create big amount of faith. And so it's always devotees, they create big amount of doubt also. Both can happen. So therefore, we should be very careful. And we should always think that every interaction, how can I conduct myself so that other persons, uh, they are more enthused to put their faith in Krishna consciousness. And if someone's faith is damaged, it is dangerous, scary, and it is a big disservice. So how we can take care of this? So uh, we can always so first point is that we should always take care that with our interactions or our behavior, our conduct, others' faith is not damaged. Second is devotee care. We are always caring devotees. So so one of the thing we have to be careful is the speech. So a verse comes Anudvigna Karam Vakyam Satyam Priyam Hitam Chayat. So basically, this verse it talks about probably most common form of violence in devotee circle is the speech. So austerity of speech is very important. So this verse basically talks about that our words would be truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also regularly reciting Vedic scriptures. So speech should be satyam, priyam, and genuinely from the heart as for the welfare of the others. So it has to be in the right manner, right mood, and the right kind of message. And if our speech, our message is not correct, mood is not correct, if the manner of speech is not good, so it can harm others. And the story of Daksha, we can see everyone was just in the arena of that Daksha's sacrifice arena. Everybody was just speaking, cursing without even thinking. So one famous story comes about Yudhishthir Maharaj that uh, Yudhishthir Maharaj and Krishna that once Arjuna and Yudhishthir Maharaj was having an argument. And so Yudhishthir Maharaj told Arjuna to put down your Gandiva. And but Arjuna, everyone was amazed. They stopped because Arjuna had taken a vow. If someone would tell me to put down my Gandiva, I will kill him. And Kshatriyas and their vows. So then he was in a great dilemma. How can I kill Yudhishthir Maharaj? And then Krishna came in between. Krishna said, no, no, you don't have to kill him. So there are different ways you can kill somebody by criticizing them, by blaspheming them. It means you have killed them. So then Arjuna started saying so many things. He was going on and on. And then Krishna said, stop now. It's already you have killed. So after he spoke, Arjuna, then he started thinking, oh my God, how can I do this? I have offended Yudhishthir Maharaj, and now I will kill myself because I can't do this, but still I have to do this and all that. So then Krishna says, stop, stop. You don't have to kill yourself. There are ways in which you can kill yourself is by uh, praising yourself. So, so sometimes we say, I did this, I did that, and then Arjuna started praising himself. I did this because of me. This is happening and all that. So basically, criticizing others means you are killing them, and praising ourselves means we are killing ourselves. So from this speech, most offenses are coming. So we can always counteract them by caring for devotees, often looking in the community of devotees. If someone is having hard times, how can we help them? And how we can reach out them with compassion. So we all must have seen the picture of Krishna and Sudama. So holding hands, hugging. So basically, our acharyas say this is the best way. So Krishna and Sudama, we know the story. They went to the forest to collect the firewood on the orders of their guru. So our acharya says that holding hand means on the one hand we are following the instructions of guru. Like both of them, they went to the forest and fetched firewoods. And holding hands means, on the other hand, caring for devotee and looking out for each other. So in this way, we can counteract the mode of ignorance. Otherwise, this dambham, matsaryam, and himsa will enter our consciousness, and it will flow our, uh, and it will block our bhakti. So I think, yeah, I'll stop here now. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. So if someone has any suggestion, feedback, comment, or any discussion, now it's the time. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear Nitya Kishori Mataji, this is
Hare Krishna.
amazing class. Just wonderful. So many good points that you gave, that we should be happy when other devotees especially are flourishing, and if we have enviousness in our hearts, it's a heavy burden and it brings us down. So such valid and wonderful point. And one question that I have is that you stated that that when we have a community of devotees, we should always appreciate them and share appreciation. But devotees are very humble. They don't never want to take appreciation. They always kind of like cut you off. And so how can you like advise how to share appreciation so that it's really coming from the heart and they take it as such? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your question. And what I think is that, yeah, devotees, because those who are advanced, they never takes credit when they are praised of. And so, because when we genuinely appreciate them, we want to praise them. So Lord is very pleased. So we can always praise them, even though if they are not present also, we can always glorify them in their presence also, and in their absence also. In their presence also, they will feel very awkward, and they will always pass it down to Guru, to Lord Krishna. And so in their absence also, there is a good opportunity to glorify them, so that they don't feel awkward. And we are also appreciating, and when we are appreciating their qualities, our heart is filled with gratitude. So when we appreciate others, so their good qualities come in us. When we criticize others, their bad qualities come in us. So when we are appreciating them, so their good qualities, they are also coming in us, and we can always glorify them in their absence, so that they don't feel awkward. And sometimes some devotees, we feel that we don't want them to have pride in them, so we can always glorify them in their absence. And also it's good to appreciate them in their presence, so that they are encouraged. And so, yeah. Yes, Mataji. My thoughts are.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank
Thank
you. Hare
you. Hare Krishna. So I think we can stop here, Mataji, if no discussions and no. We can stop the meeting, because Radha Govinda Mataji is saying that we can end the meeting, because she
Okay.
won't be at her computer.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank you,
you so
everyone.
much. Hare Krishna, everyone.